Hi everyone, we are going to introduce our group project, which is Hotel Management System. Next, I would like to introduce my group members. I'm team leader, I'm Pao Yuheng, and this is my group member Eddie, Surije, Chujuntai, and Terence. For this project, we have selected the topic of Hotel Management System. This debate seeks to investigate the concept and functionalities of a hotel management system, which is essentially a program that is similar to a hotel management system made of simple code. With the help of this hotel management system, we hope to make it simple for guests to add rooms when they check in and check out. All they have to do is click the button to delete a room. Users of the C++ program can add, edit, delete, and search for room reports, among other functions related to a basic hotel management system. Room class contains methods for validating dates, editing, deleting, and printing room reports. Room class represents a hotel room with attributes like room number, type, extra bed, price, customer details, and check-in or check-out dates. Data every room in the hotel will be stored in a global vector of room objects. By taking leaps, years, and suitable months length into account, the validate method makes sure that the dates are entered and accurate. I learned about programming language and was familiar with Python, JavaScript, Java, C++, and understood the syntax, features, and use case of different language. I contribute the responsibility of coding. I know this code requires algorithm concept. I also understand basic and advanced algorithm of data structure. I spent 2 weeks developing my part. During the project development process, I encountered many difficulties such as logic errors, grammatical errors, and runtime errors. That's all from me, and now I'll pass it to Shulije.
Okay, so for the part that I'm presenting is about the add room function. The add room function is the part of our room class meticulously crafted to handle the additional of room bookings. So it may first display a menus of the room types with associated prices in Malaysian Ringgit RM and prompts the user to enter a choice for the room type, for example, like the big room, medium room, and small room. And the next one, based on the user's input, it may set room types. If the input doesn't match any of the expected values, for example 1, 2, or 3, it may display an error message and exit the methods. So next, it then prompts for an accept room number or room code from the users. So next, the user is asked if an extra room, extra bed is needed, accepting Y or N, yet which is yes or no as input. This choice is stored in a Boolean variable EB with bigger Y or smaller Y indicating true. So next, the user is prompted to enter the price for the room according to the menu that the menu of the room types that the first shows. And then the next, the customer names, it captures the customers names using the cin ignore to clear the input buffer before accepting a string with spaces using getLine. So next, the customer IC. This matters ask for the customer IC number validating it against Malaysia through IC format, which is 12 digits using regular expressions. So if the user types wrong IC format, the system will automatically show out the invalid IC format. Please let the user to try and get, and then if the user type the true IC format, then it will move into the next section, which is the customer email. It may accept the customer's email address and then to moving to the next section, which is the customer phone number. It attempts to capture the customer's phone number to ensuring the input is an integer. If cin enters a field state due to invalid input, it may clear the error flags and ignore the rest of the input lines, then prompts the user again. Okay, so next, the check-in and check-out dates validation. This method calls validates, which is not shown in the snippets, for both check-in and check-out dates, presumably to validate or process these dates, although the implementation details of validate are not provided. So finally, it's about the adding room to collection. It may add the color room objects to a collection, which suggests this method is used to maintain a list of rooms that have been booked and added. So before I end for my part, I will require to answering the questions. So for the first question is, what did I learn in these subjects? In control structure like loops and conditionals, which are foundational to building more complex program. I'm also learned about the class definition objects that I got using in that we got using in this whole code project. We may understanding this concept has allowed me to design more modular program. So the next question is the part that I have this contribute to the project. I'm complete the documentation and make sure the complexity of the documentation, and I also got doing the debugging of the code and also got access to complete the whole code. So for the time that I spent to develop my part is about around 5 to 8 days. I'm not making sure it's around this time lah. So the last question is the challenge that I faced during my project development. So as you guys know about, my part is about the debugging the code, right? So of course got some errors or got some bugs in my code. So I need to find some ways and do some research, or maybe I may get discussion with my teammates and find some ways to solve these problems. So I also got access to finish the code, so I may also do some research and find some syntax can able to help to complexity of my code lah. So that's all for my part. Thank you.
I am introducing about the vote room of edit room function. For now, user have to insert the integer variable, which is the room code, as the input, and the lambda function used to find the room with the match input. If the room found, the user can make change to the room details, and user can change the room types to big, medium, or small, and the system will change the room types using the switch statement. The change detail will continue with the following input, including the extra bed, room price, customer information details. Next, the do while loop is used to ensure the input for the customer IC and customer phone number is followed and matched with the correct format. If the input statement is matched the format, the program will be run normally. Else, the error handling will implemented for the invalid format. The validate function as the input will call twice for check-in and check-out dates. Upon all successful editing, the system will display room edited successfully. For this project, I learned about the C++ programming and how to develop in the coding method. I was contribute on the debugging and the presentation slide in this project. And for how much time I spent on my part is almost more than 1 week to finish my task. It's about 8 to 9 days. Lastly, the obstacles I face in this project is sometimes the coding was facing many errors, and some of the error is we cannot solve it completely, and we are struggling on it. So that I need to search and try until the error all solved completely and the program can be run normally and our project is completely successfully for the coding part. Uh, Not only that, I also prepare for the presentation slide to do the presentation as a Canva. That's all for my part. Thank you.
In this code, we had used the void for the delete room. Void is a keyword that used to indicate that a function does not return any value. And then we use integer command for the room code, and integer is represent whole numbers, both positive and negative, without any decimal points. Moreover, we also use auto as a command. Auto is a keyword that used to automatic type inference during variable declaration. Besides, we use if-else statement to do the specific condition to show that the statement is true or false. For example, if the room is deleted successfully and then you choose again, the statement will show room not found. Next, we use void to print room report. After that, the program will show all the results of the booking system. For example, room code, room type, extra bed, and more. Lastly, we have used class, and it is the user-defined data type that allows you to define a blueprint for creating objects. For example, the hotel has 4 data members, which is add room, edit room, delete room, and search room reports. And for this subject, I had learned about C++ program and write a well code about hotel management system. For the project, I had supported my teammate in coding and I had done the flowchart of the project. I had spent about 1 week more to finish my task. Lastly, I have faced the challenge in coding because there have many problems or errors, so we had take the action to find more information about our project to solve the problem. And this is all for my part. Thank you.
The part that I'm going to present is about void function search room report in hotel class. The purpose of this function is to quickly retrieve and view detailed information about a specific room within the hotel. The functionality is implemented through a method called search room report in hotel class. The user is prompted to enter the room number they want to inquire about. The program then uses a lambda function and the find if algorithm to locate the specified room. If the room is found, the system print out the room report using the print room report method. If the room is not found, the system will print out a message that displays room not found. Next is the main function part. Within a do-while loop, the program continuously displays a menu prompting the user to choose from various options such as add a room, edit a room, delete a room, searching room report, or exiting the program. The user choice is obtained through the input, and the switch statement directs the program to execute the corresponding function within the hotel class based on the selected option. This process will repeat until the user opts to exit the program by choosing option 5. Upon choosing the exit option, a farewell message is displayed and the loop terminates, concluding the program. In this hotel management system, the user has the option to perform various tasks through the straightforward menu. Firstly, if the user wants to add a new room to the hotel, simply choose the option 1. This will trigger the code to call the hotel add room function, which facilitating the seamless addition of a new room. If the user wishes to make changes to an existing room, up to the option 2. The code will then execute hotel edit room function that allowing user to modify the details of any room according to their requirements. In the scenario where a room needs to be removed from the hotel, select option 3 from the code to call hotel delete room function. This function will let the hotel easily remove a room to manage its accommodation more efficiently. For a comprehensive overview of information, the option 4 is available. By choosing this, the code invokes hotel search room report function that generating a detailed report on the specific room in the hotel. Finally, when the user decides to conclude the session, select option 5, trigger a farewell message, gracefully ending the program. From the subject, I learned programming basics and how to write and structure code. For the project, I have contributed to completing the report by providing a program statement and flowchart. I also assist in the completing of the code. For my part in the completion of the code, I participate in code reviews to provide constructive feedback. I also help to identify potential bugs and collaborate with the team to design and implement functionalities. I spent about 10 days developing my part. The obstacle that I faced during the project development was attempting to include too much detail in a single flowchart that can lead to clutter and make it difficult to follow.
After execute the program, this is the log of our main menu. If there is 5 options that can be chosen by the user, the first one is add a room, the second one is edit a room, the third one is edit a room, and the fourth one is just room report, and the last is exit. If the user want to add a new room to the program, just simply choose option 1 by input number 1. Then the program will lead to selection of the room type. There's 3, 1 big, medium, and small, and also the price of each room. To complete this function, the user is required to enter a room type, such, for example, if you want big, enter 1, and the room number 1, or any room number that they want. Then the program will continue to ask about the extra bed. If yes, we just put Y, and no, just put N. For the room price, that also displayed in the first option, that we can see that for the big room is 400, medium is 300, and the small room is 200. Since we selected the big room, so the price is 400. Then the user is required to enter the customer name. For example, we just put in the customer name, then IC, then customer email, then also phone number. For the check, then input the check-in day, for example, 12 and month, and also the year. Then input the checkout date. After this, the room edition will be completed, and the message added successfully will be displayed at the top of the menu. If the user prompt to edit a room, they can select choice number 2. The user will be required to enter the room code. If the room code exists, the user is required to enter again the room code. Then they can edit the room details by enter the following question. For example, we change it to medium, then private no. For the price, 300, and customer name, IC, and also email, and also phone number, and also check-in date. After that, the room edit successfully message will be displayed. Then we will continue to another function. For search room report, we just simply choose number 4, and then enter the room number for the room that you want to search about. For example, room number 1, then the system will continue to display about the whole room details, including the customer name, check-in, check-out date. After that, for the delete room function, we can just simply choose number 3, and also require the user to enter a room code. For example, we want to remove the room number 1, then we just enter. If the room is as this, we will require to enter again the room code. Then the room delete successfully message will be displayed, and that is the proof that the room is successfully deleted. And then if, for example, if the room is not exist, for example, just now we just remove the room number 1, and then we just input again, then the room not found message will be displayed and tell about the user the room is not exist. And the same result also at the search room report function. For example, we don't have any room number of 1, then if we input 1, the message room not found will also display. If the user prompt to exit the program, just simply input 5, and the paper message that exiting program and goodbye will be output, and then the program will be terminated. That's all from my presentation.